Hey, what's happening, everybody? Mac the Duel is coming at you again from the TCG Enterprise, where we talk about all your favorite card games. You guys, I finally did it and updated Ancient Warriors. So let's get on with the deck profile, you guys. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. So starting off, you guys, we're going to be going with 3 Sun Mu. It's the same as the last time, with a little bit of a surprise with this deck. But when you have another Ancient Warrior monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks. That way you can go ahead and put out for a lockdown. At the same time, you can send 1 card from your hand or field or graveyard, and then add 1 ancient monster from your deck to your hand except for Masterful Sun Mu. And in your other Ancient Warrior monster's effect is activated except during the damage step. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. It is a compulse. Then we are going to be running 2 of the Ingenious Zujikang. This one's awesome. When it special summons out, it'll allow you to go ahead. When it gets added to the hand, you can special summon it. And then at the same time, you can send 1 face-up monster of the Ancient Warriors, continue a spell or trap that you control, and negate the activation. So whenever someone ends up activating a monster effect, you can go ahead and do that and then negate it, which is really, really, really good. A lot of times this deck will revolve around having the cards being sent from the field to the graveyard to go ahead and utilize for effects. Then we are going to be going with 3 of the Virtuous Lu Swine. And this one is really, really good too as well. Your opponents can't not target this card for attacks. That way you can go ahead and do a lockdown with this, with Sun Mu. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard and special summon 1 Ancient Warrior monster from your deck, except for Lu Swan. So this was really, really good because you can get out your higher level Ancient Warrior monsters out onto the field than you normally would be able to go ahead and do so with that effect applied. Then we are going to be going with 2 of the Xiao Kong, Graceful Xiao Kong. There's only 2 into here, but you can target 1 continuous spell or trap, send to the graveyard, and if you do, you add an Ancient Warrior spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And the other Ancient Warrior monster's effect is activated except during the damage step. You can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn, which is really, really, really good. I don't want to put more than 2 into here, though. It's just a little bit too cloggy. I want to be able to have a nice ratio, the steady flow into this deck. Speaking of good ratios, we're going to be going with 2 of the Ancient Warriors Loyal Guan Yun. This one is really awesome. It's basically a Cyber Dragon. You can special summon this card from your hand only if your opponent controls a monster. And then your opponent cannot target other Ancient Warriors you control with the card effects. If 1 monster your opponent controls is there, you can target. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can just take 1 of them, destroy it, which is really, really fun. Then we're going to be going with 2 of the Valiant Zhang Di. This will gain 300 attack for each monster your opponent controls during your turn only. So it can get beefed up pretty, pretty good. If you control 2 or more Ancient Warrior monsters, you can special summon this card from the hand, which is really, really nice. It gives you combo plays to go ahead and set up in for link climbing or whatever else have you. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can activate this effect. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase this turn, which is really, really, really fun. As for a new card, this is the newest one that they have, Savage Dong Ying. This one's really, really fun. While you control a level 7 or higher Ancient Warrior monster, your opponents must pay 400 life points to activate a card or effect. So this basically stalls out your opponent for just a little bit of time. Every time they would want to go ahead and add an effect out to play, they'd have to pay 400. You can only use each effect of the following once per turn. If this card is a normal summon or special summon, add a level 7 or higher Ancient Warrior monster or Ancient Warrior monster's continuous spell / trap from the deck to your hand. And if opponent's monster is sent to the graveyard except during the damage step, target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do, draw 1 card. So it gives you a good, nice little balance of draw power, because why not? Then we're going to be going with 2 of the Rebellious Lu Feng. This thing is really good, especially in this deck when it can get special summoned out. It is an absolute beast. Pun intended for Beast Warrior. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must be special summon from your hand by controlling the highest attack of Ancient Warrior monsters on the field, even if it's tied. You can special summon the Lu Feng once per turn this way. Once per turn during the main phase, a quick effect, you can destroy the face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest attack, your choice. Also, you cannot activate monster effects during the turn you activate this effect, except for Ancient Warrior monsters. Once per turn during the end phase, if your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack, even if tied, give control of this card to your opponent. Then we're going to be going with 1 Ambiguous Xiao Day. I love this card. Some people are not even running it, and some people are maybe putting it at 2. I figure just a 1 is good enough. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it does enough to a point to say you could really do something. This basically just takes your opponent's monsters, and you can special summon this card from your hand. So if their monster that your opponent has gets destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card. And then you can actually take that monster that was destroyed out and then put it on towards your side in defense position, which is really good. You could go ahead and utilize off from that, or use them during the next turn to go ahead and put them in defense, put them up to attack, and attack them right away. Then we're going to be going with 2 of the Alpha of the Beasts, which is really, really good. Unfortunately, when I was playing against my buddy, I was trying to get him back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, and I was using these cards, and unfortunately, Alpha never came out. That was actually one of the ones that did not come out just yet, but that's okay. It's still a really, really good card. Now, as far as our hand traps go, we are going to be going with 3 Ash Blossom. It's Ash Blossom, literally the best hand trap in the game as of today. And still, technically. And a runner-up to that would actually be 3-Dimension Fish Shifter. It's good. It's honestly good. Good to have a trade-off into these 2, but based off from the side deck that I currently have, it could go out for either or. But it's really, really, really good. Now, on towards the monster side, it's actually really, really... the spell side, sorry. It's actually pretty self-explanatory. You have 3 wishes. 3 visits, sorry. I keep calling it 3 wishes. But either way, when Ancient Warriors are normal summon or special summon, allows you to go to get the search off, which is really, really, really good. You can special summon an Ancient Warrior monster from your hand. Use it only once per turn, but that's okay. It's really, really, really good. It's one of those continuous spells that you want to go ahead and send off right away to get your effects off. Then we're going to be going with the newest card, 2 of 3 of the Ancient Warrior Saga, Depiction and Betrayal. During your main phase, you can special summon an Ancient Warrior monster from your hand. And if you do, you take damage equal to the level times 100. But like you care about life because your life points, because you'd already be able to go ahead and dish out a whole bunch of damage during your turn anyways. You can send this face-up card from the from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, then target 1 Ancient Warrior monsters on the field. Change the attribute, and then if you do, this is targeted with an opponent's monster, you could take control of it, which is really, really good as well. You could definitely run that into your favor. Then we're going to be going with 1 Borrowing of Arrows and 1 East by South Winds. I did run 2 at the time, at least as far as I remember. I think I ran 3 in the last deck profile. But either way, this allows you to go ahead and utilize your effects for your Ancient Warriors to get them out faster. This one allows you to go ahead and whenever something declares an attack, you can go ahead and destroy 1 card that your opponent controls, which is really, really fun. Then we're going to be going with 3 Tenki because we can. It's such a great card, and I am actually thoroughly excited for the fact that it was actually able to come back at 3, so I'm very hyped up for that. Then we're going to be going with 3 Cross-Out Detonator. I just have the 2. I might just put it into the side deck, but I don't know. It's very controversial as to how this card is going to end up being used at least if for this deck, I'd probably just switch out the triple tactical talents for it, and then, you know, put these into the side deck. I mean, either or. Then we're going to be going with Warrior Saga Sunryu Alliance. We control ancient warrior monsters with 2 or more different attributes. You can declare 1 attribute, and your opponent cannot activate monster effects that they currently control with that attribute. So if you declare out for Dark, then basically Tearlaments don't stand a chance. Yeah. Then we're going to be going with Harpy's Feather Duster just because. From Regeki because, well, just because. You guys know what these cards do. And then finally, we're going to be going with 1 Ancient Warrior Saga for our trap defense of the Shanbang. And this one is honestly really good too as well. The Ancient Warrior monster you control will battle your opponent, cannot activate any spells or traps until the end of the damage step. You can only use one of the following effects of Ancient Warrior's defense of Shanbang once per turn, and only once during that turn. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can send this face-up card from the spell or trap zone to the graveyard, and monsters your opponent's control cannot target Ancient Warriors for attacks this turn. Or, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard and special summon Ancient Warriors from your deck, which is awesome. And mind you, it is 1 Ancient Warrior that can get special summon. Just 1. Now on towards the extra deck. Extra deck, we're going to be going with 2 of the Double Dragon Lords. I could put in a 3rd one here, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get a 3rd one at the moment. But definitely I would put in for 3 if you're able to do so. 1 Blackluster Soldier that I've had this thing come out is actually pretty fun. A lot of decks I have actually seen, they're not running this card, and I don't know why. It's actually pretty fun. Especially since you can get effects going off really quick. Especially off from Link 3, since these things come out really fast and they're able to swarm the field, so why not? 1 Underworld Goddess of the Coldest World, because why not? It's great. Combo piece off from here, we got our Nightmare 2 out of 3 package. We're going with 1 Phoenix and 1 Cerberus. We don't have the Unicorn. Kind of debating against Unicorn, just because it's really big. But if we're able to put it in there, we'll figure out a way to go ahead and put it in there. Then we're going to be going with 1 Zeus. I love this Zeus, actually, because it's a misprint. But definitely we can get our combos going off with that. It's really fun. Then we're going to be going with 1 Utopia. 2 Executon Knight. 1 Time Thief Redoer. 1 Abyss Dweller. And 1 Tornado Dragon. The extra deck is a little bit thinning because I didn't have my Totally Awesome or my Bahamut Shark because we're running water attributes in this deck. Unfortunately, I lost them in my folder, so I'm going to have to find them again. But definitely they're going to be put in there. Definitely put those in there. Same thing with the side deck. It's kind of small too, but you know, you guys go ahead and do what you will with it. But for me, I'm going to be running with 3 Ghost Ogre. Why not? It's Ghost Ogre. And then I'm going to also be going with 2 Talents, 3 Twin Twister because it's Twin Twister, and surprisingly enough, 2 Different Dimension Ground. Because it's Different Dimension Ground, it is always helpful to have those things come out. So definitely do with what you will with your side deck. I'm definitely still in the works on keeping this thing up and going, but nonetheless, it actually runs pretty fun. Really cool. If you have any insights on how you think it should be run, go ahead and comment down below, you guys, on how you guys have your deck list. Or anything else for that matter. You guys could go ahead and feel free to comment down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell for more updates and videos. And I'll see you guys all in the next time. Happy gaming.